All right, traders, the SPY is currently having a small move down here during the extended hours trading session, the future hours trading. And within this video, I'm going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices heading into this week. We are going to be going over the main setups. The best ones for the week are going to be the SPY, and I'm going to show you how to trade these both ways, both long and short, where you can buy the call options and buy the put options for a profit. Trade these both ways. We're going to be going over Tesla, SPY, NIO, Facebook, Nvidia, Roblox, MULN, DraftKings, SST, AMD, ATER stock, limit, HPQ. These are going to be the top setups. So let's get right into it. Make sure you smash that like button. And as you can see, first things first, we're going to be going over is the SPY. The SPY is having a small move down here. It ended up closing at 447.57 on Friday. It is currently trading at 446.78. It did end up bottoming at 446 here, which is that heavy support that was forming on Friday. So in terms of your best levels to short, to bet against, to buy the put options on the SPY heading into this week is going to be called a gap close reversal setup. As you know, we've been waiting for SPY to retest back towards this gap right here at 451.03. As you can see, this was previous strong support. Once it cracked through, it had a very nice downside potential move to 443. And then when it filled this gap, just like it filled this gap right here, it had a reversal and shot back up into the 450s, right? So we're looking to play the gap close reversal on the SPY. The trend is currently bearish on the SPY, and we're waiting for that opportunity to buy the put options at 451.03 for a nice pullback to about 447. Make a quick 30 to 50% plus return day trading the put options. And if we can get a bearish candlestick to form, like a bearish red candlestick on the daily to form, which isn't determined until the last 5 minutes of the close, that's when swing trades are made. And if we can get a bearish confirmation, a bearish candlestick on the daily to form at 450s on the SPY, I'll be interested in swing trading puts as well. Swing trades are not determined till market close because we're waiting to see how the daily candle shapes itself, right? That's part of the swing trading strategy. Now, in terms of dip buying the SPY, I want you guys to focus on the best level possible. $443.50. We're keeping it very simple. 2 levels into this week for the SPY. It's going to be 443.50 to buy the dip and 451.03 to buy the puts. 2 simple trading opportunities. We should see most likely both of those key levels hit, especially if 451 reacts as especially if 451.03 reacts as a resistance. We should see both of those key levels hit for opportunities to trade the SPY both ways. That's it. 2 simple key levels, calls right here, puts right there. Those are going to be the best prices for this week. As you can see, this is the new channel. So we're basically playing for that previous support and that previous closing price to have a gap close reversal for a ride back down to the middle of this channel. And then in terms of the calls, we're waiting to buy towards the bottom. This channel has been formed for 3 days straight now. So just understand, the top of the channel is at 451. The bottom of the channel is at 443.50. Those are going to be the best key levels to trade the SPY both ways. Call options here, put options right here. Very, very simple. Rinse and repeat. And if you do buy the calls, make sure you use a tight stop loss, because the overall trend on the SPY right now, I'm leaning more towards bearish. You know, this got to like 462. It nearly filled that gap at 460. Right here at 460, 472, which is where we were expecting the top of the SPY to be. As of now, the top has been at 462, very, very close to that key level. And ever since it hit that key level, it's been forming lower highs, turning previous support into resistance, turning previous support into resistance, right? See how your support is here, and then it cracks, and now the high is that previous support, your lower high, previous support, now resistance. See how support is right here, and it cracks, and now your high is that previous support turned into now resistance, right? So we're on a bearish move to the downside on the SPY, and it will truly be a gift if we have the opportunity to attempt to buy puts at that previous support level, because that's been the trend, that's been the strategy on the SPY, right? So we're looking at 451.03 for the put options this week. If the SPY does continue to gap down, as you can see, it's trading a little sideways here, right? So it's figuring out what it wants to do. If it does gap down, there is going to be a new gap to fill above at 447.57, which is the previous closing price from Friday. I'm not too interested in that key level. I'm just going to be trading the best setups at the best prices, the low end and the high end of the channel, and avoiding the battle, the fight in between the middle, right? So that's the game plan for SPY, keeping it very, very simple. Those are going to be some phenomenal trading opportunities. So for Tesla is down in after hours at $1,022. For Tesla, there's two key levels. I'm interested in buying the dip for a gap close reversal, right? So a gap close reversal means the stock fills a gap and then it has a reversal. Tesla's going down. There's a gap to fill below at 1,010.64. If we get the bullish positive confirmations at 10.10.64, then I will be looking to dip buy Tesla at that level. If it cracks through, the next level I'll be waiting for is going to be right here. And this will be the best level to buy Tesla. There's a small gap to fill at 905.39, which is truly going to be the best level to buy the Tesla call options. So 905.39 and 10.10.64. And the price target, the micro price target would be to fill this gap at 10.57.26 for Tesla. Only interested in buying calls on this one at those prices. In terms of the puts, I will be waiting for $1,222.09 for puts. I do have a level of interest on put options as well if we can push to $1,091.26 to fill this gap right here towards the middle right here at 10.57. Not too interested in the put options for Tesla, right? So I'm trying to trade the high end and the low end of these price channels. So our next stock is going to be NIO. NIO is at a nice whole round key number, $20 a share. There's a gap to fill below at 19.91. This daily chart doesn't look the most bullish, but anything can happen with this kind of candlestick. I will say this, your make it or break it level is going to be 19.91. If it cracks through 19.91 and turns 19.91 into resistance, you're going to want to have some puts, ride this back down to about $18.70. Now, if this 1991 or even 1940 level turns into strong support, then you're going to want to look to ride calls for a move back up to 22.43. Overall, I'm kind of short biased on SPY for the time being, so I'll be keeping an eye on the key breakdown. But it's best to focus on resistance plays. But I want to put NIO on your radar as well because it is at a key interesting whole round number that we're going to be keeping an eye on. For Facebook, we're waiting for a move up to buy puts. So we're going to look to buy puts right here for the gap close reversal at 231.84. Remember, all these plays, I'm looking to scalp. I'm looking to get in, get out, make a quick 20 to 50% return within like the first hour. And that's what I'm looking to do, just at the best levels, right? And then in terms of swing trades, those are not determined until the last 5 minutes of the close. So anything before then is a day trade. We're not going to try to turn a day trade into a swing trade. It's just way too hard to predict where a stock price is going to close. In such a flip-flop market environment, you have to swing trade differently nowadays. So for Facebook, the plan is to buy puts at 231.84. Got the price alert set. And to buy the calls at 213.46. Some of these price alerts are not going to trigger this week, which is completely fine, right? We're compounding these price alerts at the best prices. But when they do trigger, the best opportunity will present itself to trade at the best price. And that's what we're trying to do. We're using our price alerts as our scanner instead of just randomly finding stocks off of scanners and trading random setups at random prices and, not having a strategically planned and not premeditated trading. Our trades are coming from price alerts. That's where our trades are coming from. We'll use scanners to find stocks, but just because we're finding a stock doesn't mean we're trading a stock. We're finding stocks to set price alerts because we're looking to trade the best setups at the best prices, right? It's very easy to identify what a best setup looks like when you're not trading it. So right when you're finding these stocks, it's very easy because you're not going to be as emotional and you can see clearly because there's no money on the line, right? So it's very easy to set that price alert. And then from there, it's just trading the best setup at the best price. When that price alert triggers, you execute the trade, you seize the moment when you get that confirmation. So that's another good point that I wanted to make for NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is having a small move on the downside here during after hours, kind of holding this 230 level. So the key make it or break it level for NVIDIA is going to be $229.73. If NVIDIA cracks 229.73, you're going to want to be in some puts and ride it down to $220. That will be the price target. I want you to understand this is not a bullish chart. We're at a key make it or break it level. If it holds 230, it's going to have a bullish move up to 242. If it cracks 230, it's going to have a bearish move to 221. So that's a big profit margin. If you're getting in at that best price, that's a 10-point profit margin. So say it was looking bullish at the time and you bought it, and then you got stopped out. You lose 2 points per share. You can switch sides and make back 8 points a share. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a 10-point opportunity if you're getting at that best price. So since you're trading at that best price, you can afford to be wrong. You don't need a high win rate. As long as you switch sides and cut your loss quickly, which is what we're doing. We're cutting our losses quickly. You don't have to switch sides, but you do have to cut your loss quickly, right? So just know this is a key make it or break it level. And if it cracks 230, we will see 220. If it holds 230, then we're going to see a gap fill play to 242. It's on my top watch, and this is not a bullish candlestick. This is a bearish candlestick. So that's what I'm looking for on NVIDIA. The top play would be, if it gaps down. So if any of these stocks are gapping down, like the previous closing price, if NVIDIA gaps down tomorrow, 231.19 for the gap close reversal would be the best price for NVIDIA. That's going to be a top setup for tomorrow. For Roblox, I want to buy some call options. Not now. It's very bearish. So in terms of the plan for Roblox, call options right here. When it gets to 37.87, give it time, it will get there. And then put options right here when it gets to 49.03. So see what we're doing? We're waiting to trade the best setups at the best prices. The high end of the channel, the low end of the channel. Low end calls, high end puts. Right in between, we try to sway away from that. In terms of where it does look like it's heading, you can see there's a gap to fill here, and you can see there's a gap to fill right here. You might be wondering, well, which one's going to fill first, right? This is a little bit more challenging way to trade, but it does look bearish, and it does look like it wants to fill this gap at 37.87 before filling this gap at 49.03. Anything is possible with this flip-flop market, but that's what it looks like because we have a very strong support channel right here at 45.50. It finally cracked through that support channel, and as you can see, the high of that candle from Friday was at 45.44. So it has turned previous support into resistance. It has formed a bearish candlestick on the daily, and there's a gap to fill below. There's not much support on the daily. It's held up on thin air. This is very, very bearish. So keep that on your radar as well. In terms of MULN, MULN bottomed at this key support level in the 220s. It shot back up, it filled the gap at 265, and it failed to turn that into a support level, meaning the stock is having a gap close reversal. And in this situation, since it gapped down and it shot back up to fill the gap, that is overall bearish. As you can see, it filled the gap at 265. As soon as it filled the gap, it had a nice move to the downside. However, it is pushing up during extended hours. So what we can potentially see on a situation like this, if you look at this candlestick right here, and if you look at this candlestick right here, they're nearly identical. So what happened the next day? The next day it had a nice move up. So I just want to bring some awareness in terms of the chart pattern. It hit a key support level, and it is somewhat forming a bullish candlestick. But the make it or break it level is still going to be, we'll call it 270. 270 is the make it or break it level. Also, the volume is very, very strong, which is good for the bulls at that key support level. We have some strong volume coming in here on MULN. So if we can push above 270s, we're going to see a move to about 310. That's where we'll be heading, to about 310 a share. I'm not interested in really buying this one. If anything, I would wait for opportunities to short this at a key resistance level. In terms of opportunities to short and at key resistance, I'm on the complete sidelines right now. I'm not seeing any opportunities to short it as well. If 265 can somehow break down and turn to resistance, and possibly, but not too interested in buying or shorting this one at the moment, mainly just sitting on the sidelines. Just understand, 270 is your make it or break it level. If it can't turn it to support, it's not going to be able to hold up. It's not going to be able to continue to rip. That's the make it or break it level for MULN. If 265 ever reacts as a resistance level and it starts breaking down, eventually we will crack the support at 220 and we will see a gap fill to 175 within time, not right away. In terms of our next one, it's going to be DraftKings. DraftKings has the lowest gap to fill below at key 52-week low support. Let's take a look. Is this at all-time low support? this is at all-time low support. So this is going to be a special gap fill level. You can see right here, there was a gap to fill right here, and it had a nice gap close reversal. That was the lowest gap to fill below at the time. So what we're looking at is we're looking to see if some miracle can happen. And I'm saying a miracle because everything is looking fairly bearish right now, and these candlesticks are bearish on this chart. But if we ever do see this $16 level, 16.13 react to strong support, DraftKings is going to be a buy. If it cracks through 16.13, then it's going to be a hard sell to about 15.30, 15.40. So just like NVIDIA, your make it or break it level, it's a very similar setup to NVIDIA. Your make it or break it level on this one is going to be $16.13. And just know, like, if it does crack through, it's still a key level. So like, you can still, if it cracks through and you're playing puts to 15.30, that's fine. But you can also set a price alert above 16, because if 16 ever turns into a support level, then it's going to be a great buying opportunity. So if it doesn't react the way you want it to initially, then you just kind of sit on the sidelines, or you could trade the other side of the trade. You reset the price alert, and then once it reacts the way, when that price alert triggers, right, when it re-triggers, because you have to reset it because it already triggered, when it reacts the way you want it to, then you can look to get in on the trade, right? So that's always going to be a key level. That 16.13 is going to be a key level for that gap close reversal. We're going to keep an eye on it. Right now, it's not looking that bullish, but we'll see. SST is looking extremely bearish. For this one, best way to play it is to, let's double check this right here. Previous closing price, 15.42. The low was 15.50. Oh, wow. So there's a gap to fill below right there. Ooh, this one's a little complicated with gap close reversals. I'm going to keep an eye on it for a micro put opportunity. My target for this one is going to be 1996 this week. If that cracks, then, oh my gosh, this is going to get slaughtered to 1651. There's a lot of gaps to fill below. There is a gap to fill below at 1996. There's a gap to fill below at 1651. And there's a gap to fill below at 1542. Best price to buy this one for a gap close reversal would be towards 1542. The volume is strong. The chart is bearish, so the put should continue to print this week. I'm going to keep an eye on it for another potential put opportunity for a key breakdown, small size, see if we can get some strong volume, some liquidity on the options at the money strike. I'm always typically trading at the money strike. But yeah, my target is going to be 1996, and that's going to be a key make it or break it level. Best price for calls is 1542. If 1996 cracks, we're going to be heading into 1651. Keep an eye on 1651 to 1542. Those are some key levels where it can have a reversal for a little spike to the upside. We have to see. AMD, you know, a lot of people are asking me about this one. It's getting fairly interesting. You know, AMD is getting fairly interesting right here. So we had this strong support level, right? We have this strong support on AMD. It's a nice whole round number where it bottoms at like exactly $100 to like $90 to mid $99. That's where it likes to bottom, $99.50 to $100, right? One of my reasons on why I do believe within some time we are going to crack that support level is because of this right here. We ran from $99.50 all the way to all-time highs at $165. And then we have this big pullback all the way back to $99.50. It's not even forming higher support. It just goes straight back to that support level prior to where it had that massive all-time high breakout. So that's weakness. And now why I'm even more bearish is because you had higher support form at one time right here and right here, which was in the 130 range. And you could see all this has been doing is forming lower highs. This is a very bearish chart on the daily. You got lower highs coming in at 125, 125. It's consistently going down to that key $100 support level, and it's maintaining those lower highs, forms the double top, has a gap close reversal. Check this out. There was a gap to fill right here on AMD at 121.47. It fills the gap, has a reversal, goes back to the low end of the channel. There was another gap to fill right here towards the high end of the channel, 123.34. Bearish confirmation. This is the confirmation. You see this, you see a stock, you know, at a key resistance channel. It could be at a 52-week high channel. It could be at a 5-day channel. It can be at a monthly channel, a 3-month channel, a 6-month channel. You want it to have big downside potential, big upside potential. This is a shorting, a put option example. If you ever see a stock fill the high end gap. This is the high end of the channel. See how this is the high end, this is the high end. And if it forms that bearish candlestick on the daily, you buy puts right before the close. If the candle looks like that, that's a bearish confirmation, has a gap close reversal, and then you swing trade. And as you can see, it got absolutely crushed. The strategy would have worked phenomenal. So the possibilities on this one is you see how whenever we hit this 100 to 99.50 level, it rips back up to fill the gap. And there is a gap to fill at 119.22, which will be the best price to buy puts on AMD. I do think though, within time, this stock is going to crack this 99.50 level. And then in terms of, well, where's the buying opportunity if it cracks 99.50? The next buying opportunity is going to be at like $88. That's the next buying opportunity that I'll be interested in, towards $88 to $89 around that zone. So just know we are approaching the low end of the channel. We do have a gap to fill above here. We have a gap to fill above right here as well. So it's going to be make it or break it for AMD. So the two possibilities that I'm thinking is we just crack through 99 and it just keeps on dropping within time, or we bottom out at 99 and then the top is going to be 119.22 towards this gap close reversal level. Then if it has the reversal and it looks bearish, then it cracks the 99.50, right? So we're at a key make it or break level. So we just got to see how it reacts. We got to feel it out. We got to see if it wants to turn bullish and show signs of a reversal. As of now, it's not. So we got to see if it wants to crack this 100 and then go to 88 within some time, or if it wants to hold 100 and then push back up to 119, right? Either way, within time, this will be an $88 stock. We just have to see how this reacts towards the key support to play it right. ATER stock is going to be one of the great upcoming trades. So for this one, we're down in after hours. We're on track to have a gap down. I'm keeping it very, very simple. I'm looking to trade this one both ways, puts and calls, short and long. So there's a gap to fill at 467, as this is now down in after hours trading at 437. So 467 is going to be the best price to buy the put options, ride it back down to 420s, potentially even 385. We have a gap to fill below at 385. That is going to be the best price to buy call options. This is going to be the best technical analysis you'll ever see on ATER stock. It correlates so well with gap close reversals. This stock has a gap up, it fills the gap, it hits the blue line, it has a reversal. The stock has a gap down, it fills the gap, has a gap up the next day, fills this gap right here a day after, has a reversal, goes back down to fill this gap. Stock fills the gap, has a reversal, right? So what do you think it's going to do? Right now it's gapping down. What we're looking for is, so here's the game plan. Look, so it's gapping down right now, right? So to buy puts, we're looking for a push to 467, right? That's where we're looking to play the put options, to ride it back down to 385. To buy the calls, 385, once this gap fills, best support level, previous resistance, most likely going to turn to support for a nice move up. So calls at 385, puts at 467. Whichever gap fills first, that's the more likely direction where it's heading. So right now it's in the middle, it's at 437. So if it fills this gap at 385, it'll be a better buying opportunity, because then it has a gap to fill above at 467. If it fills this gap first at 467, it'll be a better put opportunity, because then there's a gap to fill below at 385. So you see what I'm saying? So just know it's a two-part strategy. In this case scenario, it can be a gap close reversal to fill the gap within the side of the gap close reversal that you're playing for. That's going to be the plan. ATER stock, that's a phenomenal setup. My target this week is 385. Once we hit 385, look for a nice pump up to the low to mid fours. Limit stock. Limit is setting up for a put option. You got to be aware though, the stock has wide spreads. It can be good, but you got to be aware it does have wide spreads. So make sure you're getting filled in the middle. If you're ever trading an option with a wide spread, use a limit order. Do not buy at the ask. Do not sell at the bid if it has a wide spread. Only buy at the ask. Only sell at the bid if you want to get filled immediately, and if it has a lot of liquidity and it has a tight spread between the bid and the ask, right? So limit is something you don't want to be buying the bid. You don't want to be buying the ask. You don't want to be selling the bid. You want to try to get filled towards the upper middle. So with this one, I'm looking for a put option. We got a bearish candlestick right here, bearish candlestick right here towards key resistance. If it's down and we can turn 461.52, that key level, into resistance tomorrow, I'll be looking to play puts on that. HPQ, very similar move. What we're looking for on HPQ is if this can gap down like it did on Friday, we wait for it to go back up to the previous closing price, which would be 38.63, which is also right here towards this 38.77 support with big upside potential. Well, if this can maintain resistance, it's going to be big downside potential, looking for a $1.25 plus move on the downside. So the plan is to buy puts if it gaps down, or if we just see it reacting at this 38.63. If it doesn't gap down, then right here at what is this, $38.70, that's where we'll look for resistance. If we get the resistance, we'll look to buy the puts, ride it down for about $1 plus move on that. So that is the game plan, guys. Those are the best plays for the week that I see right now. Any other opportunities will be coming from, within Trader Society, within the scanners that we're using to find new stocks. As of now, these are the best setups that I'm looking to trade at the best prices heading into the week. We got a great week lined up. There's going to be some key levels right now on a lot of stocks. We're towards the middle of the channel. So we got to wait for them to go back towards their high end and low end to trade these both ways. If you do want to be a part of Trader Society, it is going to be that first link down below in the description. As soon as you sign up, you get instant access, you get lifetime access to the community, to the chat room, to the real-time trade alerts, to the stock watch list, to the stock analysis, to the live trading streams where you get to watch me trade live every single day at market open. You also get access to the video lesson library where you're going to learn all of the gap trading strategies that we're using to consistently make money within the stock market. I'm going to share with you the gap trading method strategies. I'm also going to, teach you within the lessons the risk management and position size to trading and the psychology and mindset to trading. So if you want to check it out, it's the first link down below in the description. You can get started trading with us as soon as tomorrow live at market open. So I'm looking forward to this week, guys. I can tell it's already going to be a great week. We just got to wait for these price alerts to trigger, and we should do well. As long as we get the confirmations we're looking for, the reactions that we're looking for, we'll execute on these trades, and they should do well. So I'm looking forward to trading with you guys live at market open. For those of you within Trader Society, if we see any new opportunities come up on the pre-market scanners, I will update you within the watch list section of the newly updated, price alerts to be trading. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow live at market open.